So today we're going to use the Dyna comp with the settings about right here, and we're going to make a John Mayer song, but in more of like a Dorian bluesy R&B vibe. So I figured we would take inspiration from Gravity, particularly the drums, and then we'll see what kind of riff we can come up with. So for starters, we're going to get that kick and snare in there. Pretty straightforward stuff. So we're just going to get the hi-hats in there now with a bit of a cymbal in the beginning too. Now let's do the kick and the snare for the next section. Now more hi-hats again. Now for the next section, it's pretty much the same thing. Now we're going to try and dial in those ghost notes a little better because that's what's driving the bass and the rhythm of the song. More hi-hats again. And we're going to have to dial in the velocity of some of those notes to make them more like ghost notes. This should be the final round of hi-hats. More kick and snare. All right, now we got to get the guitar in there. And then we're going to add a second guitar that's different, but that's going on the other side as like a harmony. And then we might as well do the bass too to kind of freshen it up and give it the rhythm that it needs. Now just to keep the song kind of fresh, we're going to switch it up a bit by playing the same chords but in a different order. Now we're going to play a nice little melody on top that kind of outlines the chords. The bass guitar is going to make a big difference here for kind of driving the riff forward. think the hard part there is actually just keeping the bass guitar on time. Now we need like an ascending verse. So we're gonna go up, we're gonna use the same chords essentially, except we're gonna add a B flat major. We're gonna go up the scale. That way it kind of has like an ascending vibe to it. By the way, if you're looking for something to practice, get my fretboard memorization cheat sheet from travelingguitarist.com/fretboard cheat sheet. What it is it's all the triads, the major and minor triads in every single key. Through the octave mapping technique and through a couple other techniques, you can actually just learn to memorize not only the notes of the fretboard, but you can also learn how to improvise in a bunch of different keys by understanding the the foundation of harmony, which is the triads, right? The foundation of chords. You can also sign up to my forum at forum.travelingguitarist.com. There you can chat with people about guitar and music and whatever else you'd like. Now we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Looks like we got some phasing happening there, but I'm probably just gonna proceed with it anyway. Now for this next part, we're gonna play the same chords, except we're gonna go back from the E major 7 to the D minor 7. That way we can transition into the C minor 9 more effectively. And for the bass guitar, it's going to be the same thing. We're just going to follow the root notes and just try to keep the rhythm flowing. Now I was thinking we would use some bells to kind of outline the chords in the same way. Now we need a cool riff, like kind of like a Mayer sounding riff that's like kind of Hendrixy. And we're gonna go over the ascending course. That way it kind of just gives it a little more flavor. So in the end, like, am I happy with what I came up with? Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's there's definitely some issues, especially on the production side. I feel like some of the songwriting principles I used sounded pretty good. And the Dyna comp, like, there's enough articulation there where I feel like it really like helps you come up with a riff that sounds decent. However, yeah, some of the production is just not that great. Like, there's some timing issues with this song that I couldn't really fix with just like the flex time, because it ended up making everything sound kind of warbly and shitty. But I also feel like, I don't know, the Dorian mode, it's like almost too dark and chill to sound like John Mayer. But I feel like it works for getting a certain kind of vibe. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep making shit. And because I feel like when it comes to songwriting and making stuff all the time, I feel like you make a couple crappy projects, then you make something good. You make a couple crappy projects, you make something good. Like, there's always like a push and a pull in terms of like the creative process.